All right, we're back for part two of Celyna's small block Chev overhaul. We took it apart just to make sure there was nothing crazy. Thankful we did. There was definitely some kind of crud we should get rid of. Pretty sloppy chain that I'll show you guys. The paint job's kind of crummy. You can kind of peel off in some areas. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to kind of scrape off as much paint as we can and kind of get ready for an appropriate primer and paint. So let's get started. So it's the next day. The girls are off in Disneyland having a good time. So I'm going to take some time here and wire wheel on a drill. Should be more than enough RPM to start getting a lot of this crud off of here. Once I get close to the bottom end of the valve train, I'll probably tape some type of cardboard here just to prevent anything from going in there. But for now, I'm pretty clear in this area so long as I am using it this way, rotation, spitting everything down, should be no problem. Get to work. All right, this should do the trick. Now that we're getting close to these exhaust ports, don't need no fancy rubber plugs. Some leftover Taco Bell napkins will work just fine. Now in theory, when I pull this out, it should come out with all the crud. Alright, so I think I'll call this side good. A few little details, but I can grab that all at the end. Time to switch sides.
Right, welcome back guys. Today we're going to be working on this small block again. Me and Kelsey, we went to Disneyland and had a fun day. But while we were there, Brian did me a great favor and got rid of all the paint on the motor so that we have a nice clean start. Then on Sunday, we went to Pomona Swapmeet and ended up getting so many things. We needed a wagon. But the most important things that we got the flywheel and we got the starter so that today we can test for compression. Let's get started.
Alright, we just gotta throw in an end on this, crimp an end. We should have everything we need. Ta-da! Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of a jimmy rig here. Don't act like you've never done anything a bit sketchy, but it's only temporary, so it'll be just fine. Alright, so we're all wired up here and ready. If you've never done this before, it's a really simple setup. So grab your car battery, positive goes to the big terminal, negative goes to anywhere in the block. This is just a simple remote starter switch. One goes to the S, one goes to the main power. When I hit this, I'll spin over the motor This is a really simple compression checker. Harbor Freight sells these for about 27, 30 bucks, somewhere around there. And you just go to each cylinder and check for compression. And that's going to hold compression, so that's about 100 and I would say 30, 35, which is pretty good. Release the pressure, go on to the next cylinder. What's nice about it is that it's just a really quick and simple disconnect here. Let's go try this cylinder. That's just under 150, totally fine. You just don't want one to be like at 180, one at 90, and one at 60, then you have some issues. Okay, so I think that was a big success. This cylinder here, tested lower than the rest. They were all about 140, 145. This one was 120. I came back and retested it and it jumped back up to 140 because I think what I did is the adapter piece, I didn't tighten it all the way, so it was blowing through the seal a bit. So long story short, everything tested positive. The next thing we're going to test is the caps on the crank. All right, we are at the final stage. I think the last check to do is the main bearings. Somebody commented on a short, which I thought was really clever. I don't know why I never thought about that, but it'd be easy enough to take those off, inspect the bearings, put them back on. If that checks out, we'll go tonight, buy the timing chain, and get ready for primer and paint. Let's hope this is it. Let's get started. Centered now, so it should be easier. Bingo. All right, let's see what this main cap's looking. Nothing too concerning. No major gouges or anything. First one checks out. I'm just gonna loosely put these on now. Move on to the next cap. See what this one looks like. Same thing. I see like a light color, then like a darker color, but it's fine. Fine. Still has that kind of weird low spot. Same. Alright, shout out to Celyna for grabbing the light. And I can tell that it's a new seal, so pretty cool. Alright, so now that we're bolting down the main caps, I'm going to start by snugging them all up in the same torquing sequence, which is always the inners first. 1, 2, 3, 4, you bounce around, then you go for the outers. Alright, so now torque them all down. So after this, we're going to wrap this video up here. Thanks again so much for watching. And the next one, that's the fun one. I'm going to paint this thing and start bolting on all the goodies on it. Thanks, guys.